All right, today we're going to talk about drawing materials, pencils specifically. So you're probably used to seeing pencils like this that you have every day. Ticonderoga is a really famous brand. They come with pretty good erasers. And this is what you would call your standard pencil. In the art classroom, you might know that we usually will use a larger size Ticonderoga pencil, generally ones without erasers, simply to equalize, make everyone use all the pencils all the way up instead of using them until the eraser's gone and then throwing away a perfectly good pencil. Um, Today we're going to talk about why we have different kinds of pencils and what they mean. So, one thing you probably have never noticed before is that your pencils have some numbers on them. They have some letters and they have some numbers. And those letters and numbers mean different things, and it refers to the hardness of the graphite that's inside. Normally, we use the term lead when we're talking about pencils. It used to be, once upon a time, that lead was used on the inside of pencils because it was a pretty soft material. And it wrote pretty well, but we found out that lead is actually toxic, so we haven't used lead in pencils for over 100 years. Actually, we use graphite, but graphite is kind of harder to say. So, and it sort of stuck around just to say the word lead. So the letters and the numbers refer to how hard the graphite is, how much it's been compressed, and then so what kind of line you can get. So the different numbers, HB, 2, 4, they refer to what kind of line you can get from this pencil at a different grip strength. So, for example, a standard HB2 pencil, which is the one that you are most often used to using in the classroom. When you draw just sort of normal speed, or normal pressure, you can get kind of a dark line without pressing too hard, and you can get a thin line or a thick line fairly easily. You can color in, and it can get pretty dark. There are different one. So this one is a 2H. So this is not a 2HB, just a 2H. So if I draw just a line, and if I use that same pressure, you'll see that the graphite, the color that it puts down, is much lighter. Now I can do this same process with an HB, but I have to adjust my hand itself. I have to press lighter with my hand. That same lighter pressure with a 2H pencil creates a much lighter value. I can't get as dark as the 2HB pencil with this, unless even if I press like super hard and indenting my paper, I can't ever get quite as dark as a softer lead pencil could. And if you've ever been like me, where you like, oh, what are these different pencils that I see in these art sets sometimes, or if you've ever won one of those things from a like a fundraiser, you chose the art set, you might have gotten some different pencils, and you might wonder what's the difference. So we also have, this one's a 4H. Pencil. Oops, excuse me. So this one, if I do that medium pressure, it gets quite dark, and that much lighter pressure still exists, but this is a much darker, much faster pencil, and I can't ever really, it's much more difficult to get a lighter tone than I can get with a harder lead pencil. This one is our 2B. This one is the HB. So you can just see that different pencils kind of give you a different quality of line as you are using them. Sometimes there's even things called just a pure graphite stick. So this is a pencil, but there's no wood. It's all just graphite. So I could use this on its edge like that, and I would be getting much more graphite through the whole thing. So these exist. They're a little spendy, so I'm not asking you to go out and find them, but just to have a little exploration of what graphite pencils can be.